So good to have Lisa Spencer from the Indiana County Department of Human Services with us this morning. Usually at this time of the year, well, always at this time of the year, when Lisa's on for the first Wednesday of the month, it's right after the point in time survey. We knew it was coming up. We knew it was going to be ultra cold. And so we need to talk with her about what they found out for the point in time survey. Our visit is presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row, and the best of Indiana County contests. You can visit marcusandmack.com online. All right. So, Lisa, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. So tell me about that night. I know it was very, very cold, and
it was very cold.
you come into these with expectations, I'm sure, and with hopes as well. So tell me about this year's point in time survey.
This year was I say very eventful. We, once again, want to give a huge shout-out to our drone team. We had Jim Hopkins with us last year, and he came this year with us, and he also brought Bryce Liggis with him from the Emergency Management Agency. And honestly, it was incredible to use their drones during the night. So we start, and we were able to cover so much ground, so much more ground than we even did last year. I thought we were going to be quicker for the drone operators, but we kept them out last year. We kept Jim out about 5.5 hours. This year they stayed 6.5 hours with us before we let them go when we finished on. But the drone was so instrumental because it actually picked up a man walking through the woods, kind of dragging his propane, like a cart with a propane tank in it, and it let us follow him so he could get into an area near JCPenney where we could actually, Sheriff and I could go get dispatched and talk to him. And so that was really a great use of the drone, and we were able to talk to him, and he lives in tents. He's been doing it for over 4 years. He doesn't want any help. So it's actually the tents that we had found last year, and now we found the man this year. So we did explain in detail all the things about hypothermia and about how cold the wind chills are going to be, because that was that really super frigid week. Yeah. And, he nice man. He just didn't want any assistance. And so we left him on his way. And then we also found we do get reports of the man in the white truck off, and everybody seems to know that. We did find him, and he had he did not want any assistance at all, and he had his plan because we went through everything with him. Then we were up on the sheets at Route 22 in Blairsville, and we found a third person hanging out in their dining room, just didn't have anywhere to go. He was working his way south, but he couldn't go any further that night just because he didn't have a light on his bike, the cops told him, but it was raining like crazy. And Sheets told him that he could stay in there as long as, he was, quiet and didn't bother anyone. So we were able to work with him. He didn't wish to have any help because he was moving out of town the next day, but he did ask if we could help him figure out how to get a new pair of boots and some socks. And so the next morning I called over to ICAP and asked them if this is something they could help with. And I love the way we all work together. Yeah. So they had a homeless case manager coordinate with him to meet him back at the 22 sheets. And she had taken him several pair of boots, and 15 pair of socks and some hygiene items. And then he was on his way. So I do love that. We did get down to Blairsville. We got into a little situation. We thought we'd have to figure out with someone in a travel trailer, but just because of the child. But there was a couple down there. So we did wake up CYS in the middle of the night, and we had to just verify that everybody knew about what was going on before we could leave, because we wouldn't be able to leave until then. So yeah, it's a very eventful night. We covered so much ground with the drone, and we were able to see just the acreage that we could do. We actually stopped in the Lowe's parking lot, and the drone was up, and that's when we were really following the one gentleman. And somebody actually called the Pennsylvania State Police and said, I don't know what's happening, but there's a drone in the air and they're looking at me and I don't know, they're searching for something, but the sheriff mobile's in here. He is in here too. And of course, the Pennsylvania State Police knew what we were doing. Sheriff IOC clears that with them every year. The 911 center is well aware too. So just for safety, we have to make sure that all the police, different police stations know where we are in case we are ever in need of help too. So I just thought that was funny to see that, someone did call in because he was really calling in case we needed backup. So I thought that was just really a good thing to do. We've never had that happen before, but I guess if you're not used to seeing a drone up, that would kind of alarm somebody, at times.
Sure.
Yeah, very interesting night. Logged a lot of miles. Sheriff got home around 2:30. It took me until about 2:45 in the morning to get home, but we did have 8 or 9 other drivers that were out as well on our committee and taking their spouses with them to cover the rest of the area in the rural communities. Mm-hmm. And I really want to thank all of those volunteer drivers because without them, there's no way that 2 people could cover the entire county. There's just no way to do it. And so we really, really depend on the group that we have. And they come back every year, and they're just very, very good about helping on this cause. And I just want to mention while we do this just one time a year through my office, because we're mandated by HUD to do this one time a year, every county across the United States is mandated to do this, and Pennsylvania always chooses the 3rd Wednesday of January. It has to be done in January. I just want everyone to know, while we oversee the Homeless Assistance Program, we have to subcontract to ICAP, that is the lead housing agency in the county, and they work on homelessness every day. This is not something that they only do once a year, so I really want to get that point across to people that this is ICAP's mission. They work on, trying to help people into housing every single day. It's just that the point in time is just another snapshot for the federal government to try to figure out how many people are actually in unsheltered, but they picked the coldest time of the year on purpose. So, because technically you could live outside in the summer in a tent if you wanted to for most people. So I think that is, and they'll tell you that, they want an accurate count of in the colder weather. So everybody's working hard. We know that we have people in their cars. We know we have people that we couldn't locate that night. We know people are doubled up on couches. But it's the best that we can do is because we only get that night to count them. And then the next morning, we had a gentleman walk in over at ICAP and say that he slept outside in a park somewhere in Indiana, borough somewhere. And but he was willing to receive help, and he had gone straight to the emergency shelter. So that's the way it's supposed to happen. And we were really, really happy that he asked for the help and he was able to receive it very quickly.
Can't imagine as cold as it is that somebody is sleeping outside.
I don't know how he did it. I'll be honest with you. When we were out, even just while the drone was up, and I had gloves on, and we had our winter jackets on, my hands and my toes were freezing through my, I have good gloves, and, I had good pair of boots on and my warm socks, but my feet, while we were doing that, we had to start dancing around a little bit. It was frigid. So I honestly don't know how he managed to stay outside all night. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's always interesting, but what the community has to understand is we can't force people to accept assistance. They have to be able to choose that if they're over 18. Now, obviously, if we find anybody under 18, we would obviously call CYS and get them involved, and CYS would have been able to get them into a hotel just for a night or two until they can formulate a plan for the family. So, it's amazing what you come up with because you never know what you're going to get. This is the thing about this night. You never know what's going to happen. And like I said, the drone operators were just amazing to work with. So they're in for the long haul with us. They enjoy the evening too. And so I think that's going to be a really good extension for us. In fact, I believe we're the only ones in Pennsylvania that do that. When we were talking on a call, we were asked to present how we do our point in time. because the drone activities and different things that we're trying to incorporate. And so I'm hoping that maybe more people work with their emergency management agencies and see if they could figure out how to, kind of, increase and improve their own counts while they're doing it, because we have so many rural counties.
Yeah,
So.
well, Indiana County is a pioneer again. It's amazing.
Yeah. I'm
Really
proud
is.
of that. I just always thought it was a good idea, so I'm proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, she is Lisa Spencer. Thanks so much. We used up the whole segment on that. How about that?
Oh, wow. Okay, could I just do a quick little plug? On March 21st, Family
Uh-huh.
Fun Fest is coming to the Indiana Mall from 11 to 3, and it's going to be really a packed full day just for the 4 hours. So if people could come out, it's a free event for families, and just come and have some fun. It's also celebrating the 250th year of America, and so it's Red, White, and You is the theme.
There you go. We'll talk with you about that next month, too. Thank you, Lisa.
That's great. Have a great day, Todd.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.
It's Indiana in the Morning.